Hi guys, welcome back. It's Monday morning, day 11. So today is a really busy day. We gotta plant some radish, plant some broccoli, and we gotta harvest our crops and all that. So we'll get right into her. So I'll show you guys in the walk-in cooler. So you can see the temperature is 35. But here's our sunflowers. You know, they're looking really good. They're actually pretty dry, starting to fall over, so it'll be nice to harvest those. Same with the peas, they're nice and dry. They're looking really good, so that'll be great for the shelf life. And then here's our, our radish. They're looking really good. And then our broccoli. So all the crops are looking really good. I'm happy with how everything looks so far. So I'll meet you guys in the grow room where we've got to water our radish and our broccoli and then unstack those sunflower. So I'll see you guys in there. Hi guys, so I'm back in our grow room now. So if you haven't, recommend you download the resources that we have in the description below. I'm sure you guys have at this point, but we got our microgreen schedule, and then we got grow guides for broccoli, radish, pea, and sunflower. Tell you guys kind of step by step everything, from how to plant them, the densities to the yields when you harvest, and everything in between from planting to harvest. So super helpful. So I'll give you guys, an update on the grow room, kind of our temperature and humidity. A lot of people like hearing about that. So the high for the humidity was 40%, the low was 30. Right now we're at 36, and then the high was 79 degrees Fahrenheit. The low was 68, and right now we're at 73. So it's looking really good. Crops are looking really good. We definitely have to unstack our sunflower. So we'll start with the sunflower, I guess. So those really need to be unstacked, as you guys will see. So there's the sunflower. You can see how it's almost pushing that tray of bricks right off. So I'll just take these off. What I'll do again, as I did earlier, is I'll do that blackout, kind of help them grow a little taller. So these are all looking really good. There's one spot that's not super great, kind of down in here. You can tell just how dry this soil is. Like if you see this top tray, that's completely dry. Where you see this one, it's a darker color, so it's got more moisture in it. So it's something I could have been watching, just periodically checking on the trays with how lower humidity is and everything. But overall, it's not too bad. So I'll top water these, and then we'll put the blackout dome kind of on them for 24 hours to get them to grow a little taller. Might have to actually let these sit for a little bit while they absorb in the water, but might be able to move them. So that's that. I did make quite a mess there. That up. Then we'll top water these peas. So these peas are looking really good. Really happy. you know, they greened up quite a bit over the last 24 hours. See if I can get a nice angle for you guys. So we'll top water these. Then I'll put those back on the shelves. So if this is the first video you guys are watching in this series, our light timers are on a 16 hours on, 8 hours off. Been really happy with those, that kind of schedule. And now we just got our radish and our broccoli. So our radish, once again, it's really dry. I do need to keep a better eye on it, but it'll recover. You can see all in here, it's, you know, falling down. The broccoli looks really good, so I'll bottom water these, because we only top water our radish when we first unstack it, and then we bottom water it the rest of the way through. So there's the bottom watering of our radish and our broccoli. I'll just put these back on the shelf, and then I'll turn the fans on, and then I'll meet you guys in the kind of our sanitization harvest area, and we'll harvest some crops and show you guys how we package them and store them and everything. Hey guys, we'll see you in there. Talk to you later. Hi guys, welcome back. So hope you're excited. It's now time to, you know, harvest the crops that have been grown. So I've got the radish on the table. So what I plan to do now is I'll just show you guys our 3 different sizes and kind of what we were selling them at. So we got our small size. I always get confused here because it's in fluid ounces. So our smallest one was a 12-ounce container that we would put 20 grams in. And then we had a 24-ounce that we'd put 60 grams in. And then we had a 64-ounce container that we'd put 150 grams in. So just show you guys quickly. Just see them in the video, but this would be like our little 12-ounce container. This one right here is our 24-ounce container. And then here's our 64-ounce container. So I'll put links in the description below to where I got all our containers. They're compostable, they're made of plants. It was huge for us with the marketing and everything like that. People really liked it, so highly recommend it. We've even seen a trend though near the end of the year, kind of like reusable containers. People are bringing like those, I think it was like Tupperware or any kind of like ventable containers. They'd bring us 2, we'd fill one, and then they would take that, and then we'd fill up the other one, they'd bring the other one back, wash. So that was a big trend. So it might be the way things are going this next season is, you know, we'll buy some of those trays and just do that, or those containers, and just offer those to our customers if they continue to value that more and more. So what I'll do is we'll show you how to harvest this radish. I'll show you all our labels, show you our 3 different sizes we're using and which ones we're selling them to. And then, you know, I got my tote back there, and that's probably what I'll fill after, just so I can use them for myself. I don't need to be using, you know, labels and containers that I'm not really going to sell them to anybody, so we'll keep that for when we're back in season. So let's get started. So first thing is I've seen people use like scissors and hedge trimmers and whatever else. We just use a knife, find it to be the quickest and the easiest. So now we got this little knife stone. Super important to have a sharp knife. I can't stress that enough. If your knife's dull, then you're kind of like tearing your plants stems. You're not really like cutting them. If you're kind of tearing them, I find it really decreases the shelf life. So if you got a nice sharp knife, it'll just cut them nicely, and it'll help improve your shelf life. So I'll just sharpen it quick, and we'll start with the 12 ounce or 20 gram ones. So with these, we were using them for samples at farmers markets. We'd just give them away, or to like our grocery stores, they would give samples, or subscription members. So you just want to take a handful, and then you just cut. Set those in there as nicely as you can. Take another handful. So I went over a little bit. So there you guys go. That's, I can zoom in on there. 22 grams, so happy with that. One thing, if you see like on the right here, you don't want to put your lid on. I didn't grab lids, I'll have to go grab those, but you don't want to put your lid on and like squish them, because then they'll be squished, and that'll lead to decreased shelf life as well. They don't hold up as well. So that's our 20 gram one. And then here we got our 60 gram container, which is 24 ounces, so a 0 hour scale. I'll try to get a better angle for you guys here when I'm cutting. So hopefully that'll be a little bit better. It's kind of hard with my hand in the way. So there we have 60 grams. And these ones, we were moving all our, these are by far the most common containers we had. So these ones, we'd have 60 grams in here. They were the 24 fluid ounce container. We were moving a lot of these at farmers markets, subscription members, grocery stores. By far, like 80% of our sales, I bet you, were from these little containers. So we're moving, if you're gonna buy containers, I'd probably buy, the most of these. I think that'll be your most common for sales. Here was our 64 ounce container, so 0 hour scale. Maybe I'll show you guys from this angle. And then here we put 150 grams. And these would be for our restaurants and some subscription members. If they had a big family, they would buy these big ones, but mostly it's for the restaurants. So went a little bit over there. So it's 153. Usually that'd be 150. So what I'll do now is I will just pause this video and I'll run and get some lids. And then once I get the lids, I'll show you guys us putting our labels on. Hi guys, so I'll just finish harvesting this so we can get our tray total, and then I'll show you our 3 different sample sizes we got here. So just leave this little bit kind of on the side. It's still in the tray, so you can see it's not cleaned up super clean, but close enough, I guess, for this video. So we ended there at 122. So if we got 150 here, that would be 257. If we got 20 in there, that'd be 297. With 60, I guess 350. So 350 grams for that one tray of radish, which isn't too bad. Happy with that. So this is kind of what our labels look like. They're just 2" by 4" labels. And then we just use this, date stamp right here just to stamp a date on them. And we use Avery.ca to get through those. So here's our, our Triton radish for 60 grams. And then our Triton radish for 20 grams. And our Triton radish for 150 grams. And then this is just kind of what they look like. We just get our sheets from Staples and then we just print them off on our printer. We don't even have like a special printer or anything like that, just a cheap little printer, and I don't know, it's been good enough for us, I guess, to sell $3,000 worth microgreens a month. So I don't think you guys gotta, break the bank ordering special labels or anything like that. So now I'll just clean this up and I'll go grab the broccoli and then we'll harvest some broccoli. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so I got our tray of broccoli now, sanitized and sharpened our knife, got our lids and our labels and everything ready to go. So I'll show you guys the different containers and sizes we use for our broccoli and how we harvest it. So we just use a knife, find that to be the easiest and the quickest for us. So that's what I'll show you guys. So we'll start with our 12-ounce container. I always forget what these are, but we were putting 12 grams in our smallest one just because the broccoli, it doesn't weigh up that much, I guess, compared to the the other crops. So there's 13 grams in there, kind of be what it looks like. And then what I'll do is we'll just take our stamp. So these are our labels I just print off. I bought like these blank sheets from Staples, I just have our designs, print them off. So we'll just stamp it. Should have had the lid on there beforehand, but same thing. You just kind of want to make sure you're not pinching any of the stems or the leaves, just because you'll reduce the shelf life. So put that on there. I'm not sure if you can see it, how it says certified compostable, just briefly there, but we'll just put our sticker on. So that's that one. Now we'll do our next one, which was 35 grams. So there's 37 grams. Here's our labels right here. So I'll just stamp this one. Then I'll grab the lid. So that's that one. And then our large one, 0 scale, we do 88 grams. So I'll harvest that now. See if I can get this close enough for you guys to see the scale. So we're at 63. One thing you want to be doing when you harvest, I'll get another handful here. It's good practice just to always, try to look at the bottom of them, just in your hands. Make sure there's no dirt or anything like that. If you're not like ripping them out or anything, just good practice to just kind of like cut and then take a look at it before you put it in the bin. So that is 95, which that'll be fine. So usually we do 88, and then what I'll do now is I'll put this in here just to get our tray total. should zero this. So that's 53. So what did we have in our big container there? 95, I think it was. Plus, 12 in here. So that would be some 95. I'd have to do some math. So it'd be 107. And we got 35 in this one right here. So it'd be 142. And then 53. So I guess 197. Hope that's correct. But so 197 for a tray of broccoli. And you can even see like on our tray, it's not just because filming and that, I could probably get a couple more grams off the end there and stuff, but it's good enough. So show you guys, I'll have to just change my gloves here and that after I pick this up off the ground. But so here's our labels. What I'll do is I'll just pause this video, I guess, and then I'll stamp it. I'll change my gloves, stamp it and everything, and put that on the lid there. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so I got new gloves on, got the label on. So this is our small one. We're doing 12 grams of this. This is the same as the radish, just lots of samples at grocery stores, farmers markets, subscription service. It's kind of all we were really using these for, just to gain awareness or let our existing customers try new varieties. Worked really well for us, so I'd recommend that. This was by far the most common one, was 35 grams. And that was our 24 ounce fluid container. This was by far the best seller for farmers markets, grocery stores, subscription service. So we went through a lot of these as well. And then this is the biggest one. And we actually moved a lot of these in the subscription service as well. A lot of people really like the broccoli and microgreens and go through a large volume of it each week. So it's our 3 different sizes. So 88 grams, that was for $12. This 35 gram one was $5. And if we ever did sell these, it'd be for $2. And that's same for the radish. It's actually all our crops. What we do is we keep that 12, 5, and 2 ratio. We just change the volume in the container. So hope that makes sense. So what I'll do now is I'll clean all this up and then go get the peas. Hi guys. So I got my peas set up. I washed and sanitized the knife and sharpened it. So I'll show you guys how we harvest our peas. It's the same as the broccoli and radish. We just use a knife. Peas are a little bit tougher to harvest, and broccoli and radish kind of a tougher stem. There is one thing I want to show you. See if I can find a good one on these peas. So here's an example. Hopefully my camera will be able to focus on this. Do you see how this pea, just trying to see it here, you see like this little part of the pea? I'm not even sure what that'd be called. But a lot of like the peas in this tray are just starting to have that, or they don't have it. And what I've seen is, on Facebook groups and that, is people be like, I got like 700 grams on my 1020 tray for growing peas. And like, these will be super tall and like completely overgrown. And peas for myself is the one crop that I think tastes like considerably worse if you grow it too far. Like if you start to see like your peas getting a lot of these, like all throughout the tray, kind of like really stringy, you'll notice like if you eat a pea like this, it's kind of like, I guess the best example I can give you is if you ever eaten peas from the garden, like when you get a small pea pod, it's kind of like nice, fresh and juicy. And then you get one of those like big, thick pea pods with the big peas in there, and they're kind of like, not maybe dry, I guess you could say. And I don't know, they just don't taste as good as like the small, good ones, or the smaller ones, I guess, with the little pea pods and that. Still are kind of juicy. So that's one thing with peas. I do like to harvest them before they get these, or just starting to get these little kind of strings on them. And I do know, like, for myself, when I was growing them this last season, like I'd kind of always get the leftovers at, and there was some trays that would be like really overgrown, and I'd make them in my smoothies. I mix them all up, and it's almost like stringy. They don't like blend up as well as if you just get like nice fresh peas that are just kind of like this size. They really blend up well. There's no like little strings in your smoothie. I'd almost say it's like hair in your smoothie. It's not like an extreme thing or anything, but kind of the best way I can describe it. So that's kind of, I guess, with the peas is the one thing I'll say. If you grow them really tall, what I'd recommend doing is if you're growing peas or you try to grow peas, harvest one tray smaller, like at a shorter height, and then you let one tray grow with a whole bunch of these kind of like little hairs on them, and just taste the difference for yourself, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So kind of a long-winded story there, but it's one thing I want you guys to, it's not all about your yield per 10-20 tray. You kind of gotta, it's what's the best yield to have the best taste, to provide the best value for your customers. So hope that makes sense. And now I'll show you guys how we harvest in our 3 different sizes for our peas. So same container for our peas. This container is actually a little bit difficult to get these peas in here. I'll just move this so you can see the scale well. So we do 20 grams for our smallest one. I'll actually have to harvest these a little bit taller than we normally do, just because this container is so short. So there's 22 grams. It's in the container there. You can see, I cut them quite high compared to, just because if they're so long, then you're pinching the stems on the container and reducing the shelf life. So there's that one. And then our 24 ounce container. We'll just zero our scale. Make sure you guys can see that. We do 60 grams in this one. So there's 60 right there, 60 grams. And then for our big one, it's 150 grams. So you can tell this knife could even be sharpened a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It is tearing a little bit, but nothing too bad. The best thing about harvesting peas, in my opinion, is kind of like the whole room will take the scent of like fresh peas. It's really quite a nice smell. At least I enjoy it quite a bit. So I went quite a bit over there. And when we are, packaging these, we do try to be like 150, like 152, 62, 22, kind of like a little bit over, because heaven forbid you were a little bit under and for some reason somebody, weighed your product. It would just be kind of like a marketing nightmare. So we always go a little bit over, and I would rather have people, if somebody for some reason did weigh our product and we were over, at least they'd be happy about it, because people are funny. So that's our kind of 3 sizes for that. I'll stamp our labels here. Actually, I'll put the lids on these first. So I'll just back this up. So same with all the other crops. You don't want to pinch any stems or leaves or anything like that. Now I'll just stamp these. I'll move this so you guys can see it. This is our 150 gram pea label. Same as all our other ones. This is our 20 gram pea label. I really like the way these look on our containers. I think they look pretty sharp. Might be a little bit biased, but And then there's our 60 gram. So it's same pricing structure as before. Our biggest one right here was $12. 60 gram was $5. And these ones are $2. So exact same thing as our other ones. You know, these are for the restaurants. A little bit of the subscription service, not as much as the broccoli, but primarily restaurants. These by far were easily 80% of our sales. These size for the $5 here for, you know, grocery stores, subscription service, farmers market. Everyone loved this size the best for a weekly order. And these little ones we would just use for samples. So what I'll do now is I will stack these up, and then we'll harvest the rest of our tray to kind of see where the yield on our peas came in at. So that's zeroed. So that's 167. You guys can see that. 167. And then this is, you know, we got 150, 60, and 20. So we got 230 there with 167. It's almost 400 grams, I believe. Just let me know in the comments. I'm sure I'll mess some of this math up. It's not the easiest to do on the fly when you're filming, but you know, that's 400 grams. You're doing, you know, 60 gram trays. That's, you know, it's easily seven and a half trays for $5. So you can see how, you know, 7 trays at $5, that's $35 for this 10, 20 tray, as long as you have the customers to move it at that price. So it can be, you know, per tray, it can be very lucrative, but I'm gonna have videos coming up on how to sell microgreens, and you know, the easy part is growing the microgreens. By far the tough part is finding the customers to move it. So kind of go in depth on that and tell you guys how we were moving all our product. But so what I'll do now is I'll go get our sunflower trays and I'll show you guys how we harvest our sunflowers. Hi guys, so I just got a call from one of my renters and the stove showed up, so the stove's not working properly. I'm going to go swap that out. So I'll water these sunflowers for tonight just so they stay standing up, and then I'll show you guys tomorrow morning, you know, how we harvest our sunflower, because it does take a little bit longer. We got a couple steps, like we harvest them, then we put it in a kind of a bucket and push them down just to get all the, and then scoop all the hulls out, and then we, you know, dry them in our little kind of washing machine over there, and then we sort them. So it is a little bit longer of a process. So that's what I'll do. I'm just going to water these sunflowers, put them back in the walk-in cooler for the night, and then I'll finish this up tomorrow morning, show you guys how we harvest our sunflower. So I'll talk to you guys then. Thanks. Bye.